It all started on an ordinary Tuesday. You see, there are Mondays, they always taste like coffee and curses. There are Fridays, with a whisper of hope and hidden alcohol in the office mug. But Tuesdays are the most unremarkable days in the world. It is on Tuesday that everything can go wrong, and no one will be surprised. I just wanted to go to the store for bread, ham, and maybe a jar of pickles. That's it. Not to start a new life, not to conquer the business world, not to sign documents that will forever change my career. Just buy a sandwich. But everything went wrong. Next to my house there is a small store with a sign "Everything is fair." It used to be a shawarma stand, then a yoga studio, where a woman named Raduga Joyce, in the world Sveta Petrovna, taught. Now it is a mini-market. It looked like it had been put together from the remains of various projects. The sign was crookedly screwed on, one of the windows was covered with a newspaper from 2008, and above the entrance hung a flag of Burundi. Nobody knows why. I went in to get some bread. There was no one there. No customers, no sellers. Just a sign by the cash register. Break. Call if you need to buy something. And a number. Just a number. No name. No zone. No explanation. I called like an idiot. A cheerful voice answered on the other end. Hello? Are you at the cash register? Great. Congratulations, you are our 500th visitor. Want to get a prize? Well, I was just getting some bread. Great, it is included in the prize. And at the same time, we would like to offer you a job. I fell silent. What kind of job? Our manager is leaving. We are looking for a replacement. You look responsible. You don't even see me. And yet. Don't you want to try? The money is stable, the team is alive. The team is alive? I should have said no. Say, I'm just getting bread. Say bye. Instead, I said, how much do you pay? The next day I came at 9 o'clock. The sign on the door had changed. Director, you. Good luck. I was met by a security guard named Gennady. He looked like a man who had been woken up one day in 1996, told, "You are now a security guard," and no one spoke to him again. He nodded at me as if he had known me all his life. New, then? Looks like it. Fine. The main thing is don't open refrigerator number 3. And don't touch the scales in the vegetable section. The previous director had disappeared there. I hoped he was joking. But he wasn't smiling. They showed me into an office. It was the size of a pantry and smelled of old paper and sausage. There was a refrigerator right in the office. There was a sign on it, "Not your refrigerator." I decided not to argue. Work began unexpectedly vigorously. First, the salesman Misha came up to me. He was an ageless guy, he looked 25 and 47 at the same time. "Comrade Director, can I stop selling batteries?" "Why?" "They hiss." "What?" "They hiss. Right in the package. Like snakes." "I'm scared." I went to check, indeed, one package was hissing slightly. I fired the batteries. Then a supplier came by who offered us 5 boxes of canned pineapples at a 98% discount, but only if I signed a paper where the word pineapple was spelled with an O. "It's for taxes," he whispered. "I don't want to know. Just take it to the basement." I signed. The basement smelled of pineapples for another month. But that's not the point. The point is that the store began to come to life. Grandma Tanya, our main customer, began bringing pies for honesty. She said that earlier they used to steal change here. And now, the aura has changed. Maybe it was because I turned on the radio and started making announcements into the microphone, like in old movies. "Dear customers, a discount on cheese. Because cheese is joy squared. And coffee is on sale. Drink coffee before life surprises you without it. People started coming back. Some came just for my broadcasts. Some for the honest prices. And some just because it was fun here. And then at one point I realized, I am the store manager. And I even like it. The store began to live its own strange, but cheerful life. Half happy, half asleep salespeople stood behind the counters, grandmothers argued about the quality of potatoes, and in the baking department they were selling donuts again, which were made by Aunt Larissa, a woman who claimed that the dough hears emotions. At some point, it even began to seem to me that I was not so bad as a director. I learned how to make purchases, check expiration dates, recognize customers who stole cheese in their jacket sleeves. I even once personally let a pigeon out of the store, which, according to the cashier Dasha, had an ominous look and was clearly plotting something. But all good things come to an end sooner or later. Or, if you are a store director, it begins with an audit. They came early. Out of the blue. On Wednesday, at 7:58 in the morning. Two of them. A man and a woman. In identical suits the color of a dentist's chair and with faces like they've never been paid enough for their emotions. "Good afternoon," the woman said without blinking. "We're from the main center for internal commodity inspection." "You have a strange abbreviation," I said. "We know. And we don't laugh. Never." The man was silent. He simply took out a notebook and began writing. The director is wearing a t-shirt with a dinosaur print. Potential infantilism. I wanted to object that dinosaurs are cool at any age, but the woman was already continuing. "We're here to check product inventory, storage standards, customer engagement levels, corporate responsibility levels, and," she added with emphasis, "the availability of toilet paper." She said point 5 as if the fate of the nation depended on it. I sighed. Well, here we go. Sub-item 1, Accounting. The accounting check began with the grocery department. Valera was sitting there. He was responsible for cereals and pasta, and had a very specific attitude to time. He was always late, always forgot that today was Tuesday, always swore that everything is in place, just in a slightly different order. The inspector opened the register, pointed with her finger. "You have 48 packs of buckwheat." "That's right," Valera nodded cheerfully. "It's just, there, in the box. In the far one. Behind the pasta. Under the bag of rice. Maybe. Or they were. Yesterday. Probably." The man chuckled something and wrote down, "Buckwheat leads a double life." The check went on. They went into the dairy refrigerator. The refrigerator was making noise like a bulldozer, and the light inside flickered occasionally, as if to suggest that someone had died there. "The temperature should be between +2 and +6, the woman said. "And yours?" Stable variable," I said. "We call it dynamic storage." The man checked the box. Manager is creative in a negative sense. They opened refrigerator number 3. "I forgot to warn you not to open it." A ball rolled out. A grocery ball. From the last Sports for Shopping promotion. We thought they were long gone. Then a second one rolled out. And a third. And a fourth. In 15 seconds, the entire dairy section was littered with balls. The inspector said dryly, "Write down, storage is unstable. Also, unexpected inventory." "This is marketing," I exclaimed. "We create a festive atmosphere." The man chuckled. He wrote down, "Phantom fun." Subparagraph 3, Interaction with customers. The inspectors decided to talk to the customers. The first one was Grandma Tanya, the one with the pies. She nodded and said, "Your director is cheerful. He eats pies politely. He counts the change out loud. Sometimes he sings into the microphone, though out of tune." "And the employees?" "The employees are good. Valera, of course, is dumb, but he's nice. Dasha is rude only to those who are rude themselves. And Gina the security guard is a philosopher." Yesterday he said that any thief is just a child who didn't get enough affection. The inspectors wrote down. The atmosphere is rustic. Warm. A bit of chaos. The security guard's philosophy is beyond retail. Sub-item 4, corporate responsibility. Do you have an evacuation plan? They asked. Of course, I said, and pulled out an A4 sheet of paper with the words "Run, Forrest, Run" written on it. Is this a joke? It's culture. What about fire safety training? We've seen the movie Fire Dogs twice. They save people there. It's very inspiring. The man smiled for the first time. The woman didn't. She wrote down, the boundaries of adequacy are blurred, but there are sparks of originality. Sub-item 5, toilet paper. We all went to the toilet in silence. There was tension, like before a test. They opened the stall. There was paper. 2 rolls. One was pink. The other had cats on it. It's amazing, the woman said. They usually fall through here. I nodded solemnly. We respect basic human needs. End of audit. They left 2 hours later. They didn't say anything. They just disappeared as suddenly as they appeared. 3 days later, a letter arrived. An official one. Dear Director of the Everything is Honest store. We have conducted a comprehensive audit of your retail facility. Despite numerous organizational oddities, we note the high level of staff involvement, an original approach to the customer, and the honest eyes of the director. Your store receives the status of unpredictably stable. Congratulations. I printed out the let. The corporate party happened spontaneously, like everything in our store. It all started when Valera, the head of the cereals department and a master of random phrases, said, "Let's have a birthday party for the store." Well, it opened some time ago, right? We thought about it. The opening date, according to the papers, was written down as tentatively spring. This gave room for imagination. Spring? So we'll celebrate on Friday, I said. The next one. There aren't many customers in the evenings anyway. Will there be a cake? Asked the cashier Dasha. There will be, I promised. And contests. And so we got ready for Friday. Valera printed out leaflets on a black and white printer with the inscription, Holiday of Honest Discounts. They were clumsy, but with soul. Dasha bought garlands. Gina, the security guard, brought a speaker and turned on a collection of the best hits of Chanson and Weddings 2005. At first I wanted to protest, then I gave up. We're not a supermarket anyway. The cake was baked by Aunt Larissa, the very person who believes that dough feels emotions. On the cake was written, with love. Your store. The inscription floated a little, as if the store had gone through a difficult week. Everyone said that this added realism. The holiday was unexpectedly cheerful. Customers came up, laughed, ate a piece of cake, listened to my congratulations into the microphone. Dear customers, today we have not just a discount on pasta, it's a pasta holiday. Pasta that unites. At some point, 2 teenagers came in to laugh at the stupid store with balloons. Half an hour later, one of them was already helping Dasha hang garlands, and the second was standing with Jenna at the entrance and chasing away pigeons. By evening we held a contest called The Most Honest Buyer. Grandma Tanya won. She brought a photo of receipts for the last 2 months. When I handed her the certificate, which I hastily wrote on the back of an advertising leaflet, I almost cried. And then, when the party was almost over, Valera said, "Maybe we really are a strange store, but here, it's somehow real, right?" No one answered. But everyone nodded silently. A few more months passed. The store continued to exist. Stably. Strangely. In its own way, wonderfully. We became a meeting place. A place for conversation. People came here when they didn't know where else to go. Some for bread. Some for a word. Some just to hear the director say into the microphone, "And today there's a discount on tea." Because we're all people. And we need warmth. One day, a man in a jacket came. He introduced himself as being from the head office. He said, "We were thinking about closing this place. But the numbers are strange. You're not profitable, but it's not like you're losing money either. And you have a reputation. They call you the life of the block." I shrugged. "We're just trying to be honest. And cheerful. And not disappear suddenly." He thought about it. Then he said, "Okay. Keep working. Just don't touch refrigerator number 3. We checked, there's some kind of portal there." And he left. We laughed. And continued working. Sometimes oddities are stability. The main thing is that there is toilet paper.